Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Last Line of Defense. In the last episode, we spent a while reorganizing our facilities and equipment before heading out to Australia, where the fortunes began to take a turn for the worse, not only getting our A-team out of action with injuries, but also losing Anne Fournier, our second highest ranking officer. Shortly after this, reports came in of a new form of operation, the Alien Terror missions, and we were forced to send in the B-team, thankfully led by Vargas, to complete the task. Still, we lost O'Sullivan in the process, despite gaining some experience. Moments after returning from the mission, however, another UFO was spotted and shot down. Soldiers, doctors, engineers, operatives, technicians, officers, men and women of the Xcom. As of late, we have had a turn of misfortune. We have lost some of our most cherished and skilled companions to the menace that is the invaders. Our loss will be felt and will continue to be felt for the rest of our lives, as these bright young women had so much more to give. But let me tell you this, let us not cry, let us not weep, let us not forget. Instead, we must face the adversary that comes from above with a renewed force of vigor. We cannot let them think that we have weakened. Instead, let them see that we have grown stronger still. Let them see that we have not surrendered. Let them see that we are still human. We are still Xcom. We are still fighting.
Big Sky has reached the outer marker. Approaching the crash site now. Strike team is awaiting your orders.
Affirmative, Big Sky. Strike 1 is free to engage hostile targets at the crash site.
So the B team goes in, spots some floaters, 62% chance to hit for Vargas, but he's going to miss that shot, which is very irritating. The rest of the team is going to fan out, take some positions. Sullivan's going to go over to that soft cover. He's going to go into Overwatch. Yang is going to move to the side of Sullivan because that is the safest place for her and also could get her into a good position to go shoot something in the future. She's going to go and hunker down. I originally wanted to go into Overwatch, but the pistol just isn't strong enough to do anything, so I just decided to go into a hunker down position. Weishao is going to move up to the side of Sullivan. She's got pretty okay shot, like 50%, but she's just going to go into Overwatch instead. Guzman is going to move up since she has a sniper as well. She can't do anything, and she is also going to hunker down. She has a shot for next turn, which she's going to prepare if the floater does not move during the alien turn. Both other floaters decide to stay still and shoot. The first one at Richard, which actually hits and does 4 damage, which is just not cool. And then the other one's also going to shoot at Richard, but misses thankfully, so it's all good. And it's also a Mel canister nearby, so we kind of want to get to that as close as possible. Vargas is going to get a shot in 62%, but it misses as well, which is just irritating. Suleiman is going to not do anything yet. Yang is not in a position to do anything, so she's going to run forward and go try and throw a grenade. She doesn't really have the range on the grenade. I was kind of pushing it, but yeah, she doesn't have anything, so she's just going to hunker down, get herself a defensive bonus. Richard is going to try and get the 50% shot off on that alien since Guzman can get it, but she doesn't need to get the backup. Guzman kind of useless now. She's going to move up and most likely hunker down as well. There we go. And Suleiman is going to try and move up, get a good shot on that final floater. It's only 48%, but I'd try and go for it anyway. Luckily enough, it kills the floater. So both of the floaters are down. We only took 4 damage on Richard, and everything is okay. And on top of that, Vargas can actually heal Richard, so that's what he's going to do, putting her back onto full health. Once that's done, Suleiman going to move up towards the mail, trying to get it in the next turn. Hopefully I can get in it, and it does seem that I'm going to be out of range, which means I need to dash him up so he can go get it. Luckily, no aliens are found, which is great. Yang's going to go around, protect Suleiman should there be an alien that appears. She's going to go into Overwatch with her pistol. Don't understand why I decided to go for Overwatch or for Hunker Down, to be honest. Like, Overwatch is always better than Hunker Down in my opinion. Richard's going to go into Overwatch, and Guzman is going to go up on top of this roof area, elevated area I should say. She's going to dash up behind soft cover, and the alien activity shows that they are towards that way, which is where the crash ship is. In fact, two thin men run into the place, get spotted, and both jump up to Guzman's level, which is not cool. Because they could do quite a bit of damage, but despite that, Suleiman has to get that meld first, and then he can focus on these. He only gets a 48%, which is more than enough normally, and in fact does manage to kill that one too. That's two people he's killed, or two aliens he's killed on 48%. It's pretty impressive. Yang moves up. She gets a 55% shot on that thin man. Hits him through the clouds for only 1 damage though, so it's not a huge amount. Risha's going to move up, doesn't get a shot on anyone, so she's just going to go into Overwatch. Guzman doesn't actually have a shot from where she is, mostly because she can't actually see the alien, but she's going to get a pistol out, try and get a shot, 55%, and it hits and kills that thin man, who flies off the roof in a very comedic ragdoll fashion. Vargas, meanwhile, is going to dash up as far as he can to try and cover as much ground as possible, getting himself into soft cover. Still no more aliens found, which is great. We've taken care of these two thin men. Meld can be... I don't know why, like, can you hear meld, or do you just smell it? Like, not entirely sure. Either way, Vargas is going to go up and spots the outside of that area. Suleiman also is going to move up. Doesn't spot anything. Just going to go and reload. Yang's going to move up. Pretty much the whole team's just going to move up at this point. Going into Overwatch, taking care of positioning and stuff. They don't actually want to be caught out, but I'm going to get Oisha to move up on Guzman's level. I don't actually want it to just be Guzman on her own, because we saw that that could have been dangerous had those thin men not been killed in that turn. She goes behind that hardcover, sees the crashed alien spaceship, but no aliens are spotted. However, some are heard to the left side of the spaceship, and then they come out. These two seekers go into stealth, and that's another good reason to why Guzman got up to Risha goes up to Guzman's level, because these seekers could come out anywhere. So I need everyone to be able to support everyone else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Suleiman up into Overwatch over here. He doesn't spot any other aliens, which is great. Yang's also going to take a sniper out and go into Overwatch. Right, to headshot into Overwatch. Risha's going to move up, spot more of the alien ship, then goes into Overwatch. Guzman's going to get her sniper out, go into Overwatch, and Vargas is going to move up in front of the ship. Doesn't spot anyone, goes into Overwatch. Everyone's in Overwatch. Those seekers cannot really attack anyone without getting shot at if they come out of hiding. And after a very long break, it seems that nothing's happened except for this. Losing that meld, we weren't fast enough to collect it, but that's not too much of a problem. So Vargas moves up and goes into Overwatch. Suleiman is also going to move up, going into Overwatch. No other aliens have been spotted except those T-Seekers. Yang's going to move up. She's going to get her pistol out because she needs to go into Overwatch just in case someone gets attacked. Risha's going to move down into cover. I'm not entirely sure which cover to take. I decided to take the one closer to Vargas than the one to Suleiman. She then goes into Overwatch. Guzman goes into Overwatch above her, and the alien activity sees that a Seeker has just appeared. He gets shot at, but it doesn't actually take that much damage, only taking 1 damage from the pistol that Yang has behind, and thus Suleiman is going to get strangled, which is kind of sucky, but you know, that's the thing that happens. The rest of the alien activity is pretty bland, like nothing really happens. Yang is going to switch to her sniper, take aim at the Seeker, shooting a 60% chance to hit, but doing a critical damage to it, causing it to die. Richard is going to move up to the mouth of the alien ship, ready in Overwatch to pounce at anything that could appear. Guzman is going to go into Overwatch on top, and Vargas is not going to move too far ahead. He's just going to go into Overwatch here. Suleiman's going to go into Overwatch where he is, and that is the end of the turn for us. At the beginning of our next turn, Vargas is going to move right up, going into Overwatch. Suleiman's going to move up as well. He's going to go into half cover. And then Yang is going to dash up next to Suleiman. I'm trying to find a good position, but there's no other good position other than that one here. Richard's going to move up into the alien starship. And she's going to go into Overwatch. And Guzman is going to rush down into this half cover. She's going to switch hopefully to her pistol, which she does, and go into Overwatch. Drilling the alien activity, we get a little crash, and then we continue. Vargas is going to move towards the center of the starship. Since there's no one in that room that Richard has seen, I decided to move up to a different room, trying to get the outsider as quick as possible. Everyone going into Overwatch around. Yang going into Overwatch with her pistol. And Richard going to abandon this area because there's no one inside the room. I don't particularly want to keep her, well, make her go in alone, basically. She goes into Overwatch. Guzman's going to move up. I think I'm going to dash her, in fact. Try and get her as quickly, because I'm getting slightly impatient about such slow moving, but there is still a seeker out there. So during the alien activity, in fact, all my operatives turn around as the seeker disappeared. Only 2 damage done, most likely due to a pistol than more than anything. Actually, probably not due to a pistol. Might just be to a really shitty roll. So yeah, Yang gets strangled by the Seeker, and then I'm kind of wondering what I want to hit, and there's such a high chance to hit with this that I think is a good idea, but I didn't realise that I hadn't switched her to a sniper, so I used a pistol, which basically wasted her turn. I'm then going to switch around, so there's a pistol shot for 52 for Vargas, but I figure out that, you know, it's too low of a chance. I really need the Seeker dead now, so I'm just going to kill it with Suleiman, who manages to get the shot directly on, killing the Seeker, getting rid of that threat. However, Yang has taken damage and is now taking breath, so she's just going to go into watch with a pistol. Richard's going to move up into the alien starship, goes into Overwatch, and Vargas is going to reload. Trying, you know, probably should have done that in an earlier turn, to be honest. Alien activity doesn't really show anything, so we're just going to move around. Vargas is going to go deeper into the ship next to Richard. I'm thinking at that point that the door next to Vargas is where the alien will be, so I'm just going to move up with the rest of my team, try and get them into supporting positions. Because there are no Seekers, there's no real rush, or need, I should say. There's no real need to go and get everyone on Overwatch for now, since the head of the operatives is Richard and Vargas at this point, and everyone goes into Overwatch. And once again I put Guzman in Overwatch with a pistol rather than a sniper, which is probably a bad idea. Just need to stop making that mistake. Can't remember if I do stop to make that mistake in later episodes. I probably don't. So yeah, the door is open, but there's no one through there, which is kind of irritating. So I'm just going to put Vargas into Overwatch, and I'm going to move. I'm going to dash Suleiman up because I want to be able to do anything if there's anyone in there, and I can't see if there's anyone in there. But judging by the fact that Suleiman didn't see anything, there probably isn't. So I'm going to move Yang to the edge there into full cover. Goes into Overwatch with a pistol. Richard is most likely going to be moving up. No, she goes into Overwatch. Okay, very interesting choice there. Probably just waiting for Guzman to join the pack, to be honest. So she's going to probably have to dash. Nope, I choose to get her into no cover. Great. What a plan. Goes into Overwatch with a pistol. Some very weird life choices going on here. I don't know if that's because I eventually get better, that I'm making all these good decisions. Well, I'm seeing all these bad decisions. Sonoman goes up, doesn't say anything, goes into a watch. There literally isn't no one in there, which means that there can only be people in that, or there's a room to the leftmost, which I think might be where it is. So yeah, I'm going to skip ahead to where we find it because I don't particularly want to take too long on just searching for an alien. And this is exactly what we do. We can see Yang running to the door, which is on the leftmost of the ship. Now this room is a bit weird. I wasn't expecting the outsider to be here, but as you can see by the fact that when I open the door there goes the cutscene, the outsider is indeed here, and he's on the outside of the ship, which is why this confused me and why I didn't really look there first. So yeah, so we find the outsider and we kind of want to kill him straight away. 52% for Huishao, who's going to shoot, deal 2 damage, which isn't quite enough to kill him, which is a bit of a shame, and Guzman is going to change to her sniper. Only 29%, but I think, you know what, fuck it. Sadly though, 29% is definitely not enough to hit anything. We do have a lot more people to go. Everyone went into Overwatch prior to this. So I'm just going to move Vargas up, put him into Overwatch most likely. And then Suleiman's going to, well, I'm kind of sucking through like who do I want. I'm actually going to throw a grenade because I want a maximum kill. I want to just get the kill basically. At this point, having missed with 2 guys or not done enough damage to kill 2, I'm just going to go around. I'm looking at where I could find some cover. Not really finding cover, so I'm just going to move Yang around, move her to the pistol. Oh no, she's already on the pistol. But she actually misses, which is a bit of a shame. But I still got the backup of the grenade from Vargas, actually, because he hasn't actually shot yet. But I'm just going to move Suleiman up with his heavy machine gun. He's going to get a flanking shot on it. He's got a grenade, which is more than enough to kill it, which I think I'm going to do just because I want to guarantee it. 82% is more enough. Get the kill like that, probably be better. Get ourselves some nice bonuses, and then the mission ends. Now there was a lot of faffing around, and that's really what caused a lot of problems, but we do get a bunch of experience points and levels up, including Suleiman, who's going to get himself Sergeant, and Yang, who gets to Corporal. We're going to give her Squad Sight, because that is one of the most important ones for that. And then we are going to continue on. We get a bunch of medals, which is cool, and a lot of corpses and stuff that we can use for later on. Once back at HQ, we look to scan for activity. Quite a few people return, well, Shang and Endo return from duty, and we also complete some projects, and then we get told that Nigeria has withdrawn from the Xcom projects, which means that we can no longer get the African bonus, which kind of sucks, but you know, in total it's not too bad. We do get a bunch of money for that, which means that we're going to invest in quite a bit of projects going on. We still got a cybernetic lag on its way in 3 days, carapace armor as well in 3 days, and yeah, we're just going to continue doing some research and stuff. We don't actually have that much money, we only got 300 because of that, but we are going to try and build some more stuff. We're going to get a bunch of laser rifles for everyone, so that everyone's got a laser rifle. That makes sense. That's a good way of looking at it. I'm also looking at what facilities I kind of want, and I do want some more satellites at some point, which means I'm probably going to build a satellite uplink soon. Also looking, basically I want to move the school so that it's in a different area, so that I can move a satellite uplink next to that and then just keep generators next to it, because I need to build power, but I'm not entirely sure, because I'm kind of looking forward like to what I need to get and what I need to do. So I do build a power generator there just so that in the future I'll be able to do what I want and what I can, but I want to build a satellite nexus as well to get more satellites up. That's my main focus for the moment, is trying to get that satellites up, trying to get the power running, because I know things are going to get iffy if I don't do that, and I don't want to keep on lose any more after Nigeria. I can kind of afford to lose the ones in Africa because I can't get the bonus in Africa, but if I lose any of the others where I don't have the bonus already, then it's kind of gone. So we're going to continue scan for activity, and then straight away we get another UFO contact, this time in, well, once again in the UK. So we're going to send our interceptor down to try and get it. It's going to intercept in the UK, and it's just going to follow that. I've got my hand over the abort because this is a big one. The interceptor takes a whole lot of damage but fires at the ship, and then both go down, so I lose my interceptor, but so does the UFO go down. I think it's kind of a shame, but it's kind of worth it as well to go for that. I'm going to go through my my team, going to try and edit them a little bit, but in the end I'm going to choose this selected team, going for Endo, Suleiman, Vargas, a new rookie Williams, and also Lieutenant Shang. I'll be alright, you don't need to worry about me. I know how dangerous it can be out there. Maggie is still recovering, but it will only be a few days until she's back with us. Yeah, I'll tell her. It's okay, Mother, the team here is strong. I know it might seem that way to you, but honestly, I'm okay. Hiromi? Yeah, she's been back a few days. No, only a few scratches. I'm aware that Diego's birthday is coming up. Not yet. Huh? Oh, sorry, Mother, I'm being called. I'll message you when I get back. Love you.
Will do.
So the first thing we're going to do is move Vargas up towards a bit of cover. We are starting up really close to the spaceship itself, so we don't really need to move too far to really get to the entrances, which allows us to kind of move our forces, spread them out, put them up next to cover as much ground as possible. Everyone can overwatch over each other, but I'm actually going to dash everyone, get them into positions very close to the base of the ship before actually doing anything. Now the first thing I remember making some quite large mistakes as soon as the alien turn comes up, and that's the fact that I believe, at any case, that we can smell one of the meld canisters. Yep. And so we're going to move 3 of our members down there. We can actually see it. It's pretty close. We're going to move Vargas down on his own so that he's going to go try and get that meld canister. But I also decide we're going to move someone else with him when the time comes to that. We have a new rookie as well. We have Williams. I just want to level her up. I just want to level more and more people up, try and get people. I'm kind of running out of supports. I think not supports. I'm running out of the shotgunners. I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, and we kind of need quite a few of them because otherwise we're not going to be able to. Well, it's just really weird that we've only ever got like 2, I think, at the moment, compared to the amount of heavies and snipers that we have. We seem to have a lot of those, and we kind of just need more of the shotgun class. Assault, that's what it's called. Vargas is going to move up, going to try and spot that, but I cannot actually see the meld canister, but it is nearby, so it's going to take me 2 or so turns together. I'm also going to bring Suleiman up to help him along, so that there's 2 of them together. Suleiman being a heavy means that he's going to hit really hard. I actually completely screw up and put him up on top of the platform. It does manage to see the meld canister, which is only 3 turns, and also during the alien activity we can see that there is some alien activity within the ship. Vargas is going to move up first, and no one is there, which means, which is pretty good. The meld canister is right by. It's 2 turns, so we can get it next turn very, very easily. I'm going to move Vargas up. I've put him on top of an elevation, so he gets a little bit of bonus to aim. Should there be an alien that comes up, put him into Overwatch. William's going to move up as well, go into Overwatch. She and the other 2 are going to go down that side of the ship and try and take down as many aliens as possible should they appear. Shilong or Shang is going to go behind that tree stump, go into Overwatch, birds fly over, and we see our first enemies, a set of 3 floaters, which is pretty damn scary. Vargas has to go and get those that meld, and reveals 2 seekers, which is the worst because there are 2 seekers and there are 2 people there, Vargas and Suleiman, and that is just awful. One of the annoying things about seekers is that I cannot see where they are when they go invisible, which means I can't just send a grenade or anything to try and take them out before they can do any damage because they're invisible, but I guess that's the whole point. Rim's going to move up, they're not going to see any enemies. She goes into Overwatch, Endo goes straight into Overwatch, and Shang is going to move up to this bit, which gets him into a full cover, very close by to the others. Seeker appears, so Suleiman's going to do an Overwatch shot, misses, destroys the meld canister, but it's okay because we've already collected it. And then we get warned by the doctor that we've destroyed a meld canister even though there's no one on it. So Vargas has been seekered. and right now I'm scared shitless that Suleiman might as well, but he doesn't, which is so lucky, which means he needs to hit this shot at 60%, but luckily he does manage to kill it, which is fantastic. It means that managed to kill one. He can't go into Overwatch though, which means that if the other Seeker decides to attack us, then we're in the shitter, but it's okay for now. As long as one of them isn't Seeker, then it's all good. Williams opens up the door, doesn't see anyone, goes into Overwatch. Endo's going to move up to her side, get her pistol out, and go into Overwatch. I think she already has the pistol out. And Sang is going to move up. Now I thought, and this is one of the other things, I think I've mentioned it in the previous episode actually, the fact that you can't climb over objects is really irritating in this game, and that means you need to go the long way around instead of going into Overwatch. And Vargas goes into Overwatch straight away, having lost 2 HP from that Seeker. The floaters sort of move into the cavernous area. Don't know what to call it, it's kind of just a massive room. The other Seeker doesn't appear though, which is very strange for me. So I'm just going to ignore it and just move up. I decide instead of going, well, I'm kind of debating whether to rejoin both of my team together or whether to just move up. I decided in the end just to move up and just sort of do a very improvised pincer movement with my guys. Because I think it's going to be effective enough compared to having to wait for them to go all the way back to this side. It could be dangerous, but I think it can pay off considering the team that we have is quite experienced as it is. Go into Overwatch with Endo, and then Shang is going to move up to see what's in this room. Doesn't seem to be anything there, so he goes into Overwatch, and Williams is going to move up. Not too far because she wants to remain within the Overwatch set, and she spots so many floaters. I just want to throw a grenade in there, but because of the way that the wall is, I can't just, and this is another thing, I can't go around corners, like, because she could just move to the other spot for a grenade and move back, and I think that would have been a really nice addition. I don't know if you can do that in Xcom 2, but yeah, there's a lot of floaters there, which is really annoying because an alien grenade could really have wrecked that, but I don't actually have any alien grenades. The Seeker shows itself, Vargas misses it with his Overwatch shot, and it goes for Suleiman, but the floaters themselves don't actually do anything, I do not think. Nope, and then the Male Canister has been spotted on the other side of the ship. Now Vargas has to fire and hit that Seeker, which he doesn't on 83%. Vargas is really starting to get worse at shooting stuff by the way it seems, but yeah, it's not going too well. Williams is going to move up to the door. She's then going to choose to throw a grenade. Do I put it in Overwatch or do I choose to throw the grenade? I think yes, I would have thought so. But this is why I said that she, I wouldn't have thought. But anyway, she can't throw a grenade through a closed door. She can't open the door to throw the grenade, which is really weird for me. Like, once again, that's another thing that I would really have thought would have happened. So she opens the door, which means that the floaters all get to see her. There are 6 of them, and they all move towards her, and then the other group sort of like grumble around, and they also move towards and away from her. So she can throw a grenade, she's going to hit quite a few of them, but some of them are floating, which means she's not going to hit all of them. But she actually does manage to get a really good shot. She's going to throw that. That's 3 damage to 4 people, so that's quite a bit of damage going on there. Doing 12 damage in total, of course not killing any of the dudes, which isn't exactly great, but another grenade will manage to kill them all. Should come to that, but now it's the alien activity. So Suleiman is getting strangled pretty heavy. That floater moves up. It's going to try and shoot at Williams. Doesn't manage to. There's an Overwatch shot by Hitomi who goes up on that singular floater. Very slow motion, and it does pay off in the end though with a kill. So 1 floater down out of the 6 that we've seen, meaning there's only 5 left, one of them on full health. Actually there's quite a few on full health. And then Shang manages to get an Overwatch shot as well, only doing 3 damage, leaving him on 1 health as well. So there's a bunch of really weak floaters around, which isn't too good. And then this one is going to fire at Richards, but miss. Don't know what I said. That like that. I think it's Williams, not Richards. I've forgotten the name of my people. It is Williams. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I forget things really easily. Vargas' turn. He's got a choice of whether to go for the 83% hit, which he actually does manage to hit that time, thank God. However, Suleiman has taken quite a bit of damage, but as a heavy, he does have quite a bit of health, so it's okay. It's not the worst of things. Williams is going to try and shoot at that floater, manages to get a critical hit, 9 damage on them, which is fantastic. It's exactly what we need right now. Endo's turn. She's going to move up, try and hit someone with their pistol. Judging by the fact they're all on 1 health, it means that it's not too hard to kill them should I hit them, and I miss, which is just awful. It's not really the best thing to do right now, kind of need all the hits. Shang is going to move up, he's going to try and get a shot on the floaters, but doesn't get anyone on it. See, move my mouse to get ready to hit, but don't actually get a shot at anyone, which is awful. So the floater's going to do something. This floater's going to move away, but that puts him in an overwatch shot for Shang, who's going to shoot and kill him, leaving only 1 floater left. So we managed to completely destroy most of the floaters without them actually being able to do anything. William's not even taken any damage, and then another overwatch shot, this time from Shang again, who gets a free overwatch shot for every shot that he connects. So because he killed someone with his overwatch, he gets another overwatch, but that one doesn't actually get anything, which is a bit of a shame. And then Vargas takes a really hefty hit from that floater. So I'm going to move to Suleiman, try and get Suleiman to get the kill, but not really in the best position. So I'm going to move Suleiman up, see if getting closer does anything. And it does improve it by quite a bit, 54%. Doesn't actually kill it though, but the hold targeting does get a plus 10% to aim. Williams is going to try and kill that floater, who's in a really awkward position, but she can't actually see it. And it's like, okay, great. So, which means I now have to move someone into that position to see. I'm going to put Endo into Overwatch because I kind of have to. I'm going to reload with Shang. So yeah, so there's a random floater that I couldn't see, which is a bit awkward. Vargas does manage to kill that floater in revenge, but he's on quite low health. There's just 1 floater left around. He moves out in retreat, but he does get hit by the Overwatches. No, he doesn't even get hit by the Overwatch, he just gets seen. But Williams misses her shot. The floater moves around, but doesn't manage to get a shot off, which is great. Vargas is going to use a medkit on himself to try not to get killed, which is a really good choice from my behalf. And then he's going to get back there. Suleiman is just going to reload. All my team need to go reload or heal. 45% chance hit for Williams, who just misses, which is kind of, you know, not really unexpected. 45% is not really the best. The floater is only on 1 health though, so getting a pistol shot is more than enough to really kill him. So I'm going to move Endo down, but she still doesn't have the range to hit it because of how, I don't know, it's just weird. Floaters are weird, and the way that line of sight in this game works is very strange. So I'm just going to move Shang up, hope that I can see the floater, which I do. 55%, and I miss as well, which means that none of my guys are in Overwatch, and that floater can just hit what he wants, but luckily he misses Williams, which is fantastic and actually really lucky. So the meld is going, please take me, but Vargas is just going to reload. Suleiman is going to go down and go into Overwatch. Williams needs to hit that floater, so she's just going to move up into cover, try and get a shot onto that floater, now on a 65%, which is much more likely to hit, but she still misses. Can't really expect much from her though, she is just a rookie, but still 65% is kind of an irritating miss, really. Endo can't hit anything, even with her sniper, because of range for some reason. So yeah, she's going to try and get a shot with her pistol. 82% chance to hit, which she manages in the end to do after a very big botching, which is kind of sucky. But yeah, so right now I'm going to go into Overwatch, in activity. We're not going to see anyone for a while, so I'm just going to skip to when the action restarts. So after a bit of faffing around, we kind of have moved our team all over the place, and it turns out that there's one of the floaters is actually still there, and I completely missed him for some reason. Like, I've been moving around, I can't actually see him there. So what I do is I get Shang to move through, goes up, and then because the floater is literally just going into Overwatch this whole time, gets an Overwatch shot for 5 damage on Shang, who hadn't lost any health at that point, which is lucky, but that's why it kind of moved Shang there. Now the inner activity could have shot Shang again, but instead just goes for a float up, which puts him into Overwatch shot of everyone. Williams misses, but Endo manages to get her sniper shot off to kill the floater, which is fantastic. And then after a while we do a bit more faffing around, trying to get to the best position within the ship. So yeah, at the point Vargas is just going to move up, and we're going to go to that final room up there. So after a bit more faffing around, we get to the final room, and there's like nothing going on. We have to go down. We've been there. This is like several turns later, and we have to move down for the overseer to actually be spotted, because he's down there and you can't see him from the top. So he shows up. We only need to put a grenade onto him, which I think is exactly what we're going to do. I think we could put 1 shot into him beforehand, and 82% from Vargas, actually, just decimates it,
Another one
ending
down.
the mission finally
Good work,
after so many turns it took us to do that. But yeah, putting the nail in the coffin for that overseer, and finally returning our team back to HQ. So the upgrades we get, we only get Williams going up to a heavy, which is kind of a shame, and getting a bunch of wounded but we do get a urban combat medal and a bunch of sweet loot, which is awesome. We're then going to go into research just to check out research and stuff, and engineering, just checking things all around, really just clicking on everything because we can, and we go straight just to the activity just to scan for stuff. The cybernetics lab is then completed, which is fancy doodle. Cybernetics lab allowed us to change our basically get mechs, which are just fantastic. And in fact, the thing we're going to be doing is augmented one of our soldiers straight away, and after a little bit of choice I decided I don't want to do it on any of the ones that are injured because that's a bit rude, so we're instead just going to go for Williams, who is going to be our first augmented soldier. And then after a while I decided, do I want someone else, but I don't actually have the money to do that kind of stuff, and I don't particularly think it's a good idea. Just to have one should be enough, so there we go. I do actually look, but yeah, I've only got enough for one, so there we go. Our first augmented soldier is on the way, and I will see you next time.